Pranita. I'm working as TV presenter and I'm also the student of IPMI Business School. And now I'm also Putri Indonesia Intelligentsia 2019. I'm so glad that I'm part of IPMI Business School as a student. The reason I chose IPMI as my second master degree because it's very hard to find MBA degree in Indonesia and IPMI is one of them. I'm so glad. And the second thing, because I want to expand my career as an entrepreneur and to learn economics and everything from IPMI is a good start. And the third one, I can have a better network from my classmates and also the professional lecturers in IPMI is the best. Thank you IPMI for the opportunity and I'm ready to be an entrepreneur. Thank you. Marietta. I'm working as TV presenter and I'm also the student of IPMI Business School. And now I'm also Putri Indonesia Intelligentsia 2019. I'm so glad that I'm part of IPMI Business School as a student. The reason I chose IPMI as my second master degree because it's very hard to find MBA degree in Indonesia and IPMI is one of them. I'm so glad. And the second thing, because I want to expand my career as an entrepreneur and to learn economics and everything from IPMI is a good start. And the third one, I can have a better network from my classmates and also the professional lecturers in IPMI is the best. Thank you IPMI for the opportunity and I'm ready to be the entrepreneur. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Good morning, Bapak and Ibu participants. Don't be wondering if we always say good morning because at IPMI we embrace the morning spirit. Bapak and Ibu, welcome to IPMI International Business School webinar, Leading Culture Transformation in Your Organization. First of all, I would like to welcome all participants, all speakers, and the management team of IPMI International Business School who attend this webinar. Happy to meet all of you. Please kindly allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nimas Dian Fitriani. I am an MBA student class of March 2021, also the International Partnership Officer at IPMI International Business School. I will be your moderator for tonight. Before we begin this webinar, please allow me to remind you to the code of conduct during the program. The first one, the whole session is recorded. The participants' audio will be muted during the speaker's presentation. Do not post or write offensive or sensitive content throughout the session because violators will be removed. The Q&A session will take place right after the presentation of all three speakers. You can submit your questions by typing it in and on the chat box. And please also put your Zoom mode to speaker view. This webinar is held as a continuation of the release of a book titled Berubah atau Punah, written by 13 amazing HR experts in which 3 of the authors are IPMI alumni, Bapak Effendi Ibnu, Bapak Awaldi, and Ibu Adriani Sukmoro, who will be presented later. Oh, well, okay. Dear participants, before moving to our main agenda, I would like to have Professor Aman Wirakarta Kusuma, the Executive Director of IPMI International Business School, to officially open this webinar by sharing his opening remarks. Hi, Prof. Aman. How are you?
Hello, Opin. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Yourself?
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Really good. Okay, Prof. Aman, the screen is yours.
Okay. Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, distinguished alumni, faculty members, staffs, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor and pleasure for me to welcome you. It is very interesting and also is the core of in our school, competencies and knowledge is about the organization. So I think talking about the topics, my senior, the late Professor Yaya Koswara, was the director of Binti Tabmas in Dikti. At that time, she tried to encourage all the university to publish or to do the publication in scientific journals. So she said that publish or perish. But now I think we are going to talk about that in the context of management. So I may probably copy the proverb that change or perish. So congratulations to all the writers, the authors of producing a book on these topics related to later on we'll discuss in this particular webinar. We do understand that culture can be defined as the consistent organizational behaviors of employees and leaders. Organizational culture mirrors the organization core values, which reflect the organization leadership. The culture of organization is not static. So we need to understand about customer needs and preferences. And also we understand there are also two important sides, which is in the factory, in manufacturing factory, all the business that we are dealing with that concern about the production push or consumption pull, which is based on the consumer needs and demands. So we do understand in the organization that leader will closely monitor, measures, and manage the culture of the organization. We can see how the leader could set up the mechanism in making the decision. Is it top down or bottom up? Or how the employee could express their opinion with the confidence? Whether there's also we are seeing the collaboration between the employee in the teamwork, and whether it's a competition, but in the healthy situation, whether it's a produce also creativity and innovation. So a lot of things that will affect the organization cultures. But the important for us, leader must walk the talk. The second concern on this is on the what is cultural transformation? Cultural transformation is a shift that can take place throughout an entire organization or in individual departments and teams. It requires changes the heart, the mind, and skill of the workforce to support the desired culture. So individuals must first have the conviction to change their behavior. Then they must understand what behavior of change and will have the necessary tools to change. Cultural transformation is an adaptation of norms and behaviors within the scope of the organization core values. So to bring this into alignment with the new business strategy or direction. So in again trying to underline the importance of this cultural transformation is actually the need for changes. The people, the management system, and the process in the workplace, so that we can finally reach the goals, which is the shared values among all the players in our offices, our works. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this webinar, definitely we are going to hear a lot of wonderful and also direct experience from all the speakers. And I would like to thank and appreciate the participation of the speakers and as well as moderator. We have experts and professionals in human capacity development. So Ibu Miss Andriani Sukmana MBA is our alumnus, and she is the expert to the Ministry of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning. Mr. Joseph Batauna, former Human Resource Director at Unilever, Danamon, and Indofood. Mr. Irwandi Ferizal, the Human Capital Director of PT Maybank Indonesia. And of course, our lovely moderator, Nyimas Dian Fitriani, is the IPMI MBA student, also the officer at International Office. I would like again to thank for your coming and participation to all faculties and participants in this webinar. Have a successful deliberation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Aman, for a thought-provoking remark. Now, I would like for us to take a picture together before we start the webinar. Kindly open your camera and show us your best smile. Bu Sandra, can you help me to take the picture?
Okay. Okay, slide 1. Okay, slide 2. Slide 3. Okay, 4. Five.
There are a lot.
Yes.
Slide.
There's a lot of slides.
10.
Okay, is
Great.
it already done, Bu Sandra?
Already, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Sandra, and thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to introduce our first speaker for tonight. Our first speaker for tonight is Bapak Joseph Bataona, who graduated from the Faculty of Social Sciences at Atmajaya, Jakarta. He was the Human Resources Director at Unilever Indonesia. Halo, Pak.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Bapak Joseph Batona is also the former Human Resource Director at Bank Danamon and also Indofood. And he also has international experiences at Quest International as Human Resources Manager Asia Pacific. He's currently active as a blogger and executive coach, as well as speaker at public forums, universities, and companies. Mr. Joseph will explain why the organization needs to change in a changing situation. Without further ado, please welcome Bapak Joseph Batona. Bapak Joseph, the screen is yours.
Baik, thank you very much, Mbak Nyimas. First of all, allow me to start my presentation by introducing my why and also our collective why we agreed to write this book. Yeah. First of all, about my why is based on my simple motto. The first part is about be yourself. I believe that all of us created unique, and we are equipped with the all resources needed in order to live, to perform, and also to succeed. If I would like to succeed, don't copy other people. Don't think about becoming other people. Just be yourself. And find out what are the talenta, what are the strengths that God give to you, and just dig down, sharpen it, and use it for your success life. Second part, I talk about better every day. If I believe that everyone is unique, it means that other people have something that I don't have. If that's the case, I need to open up myself in order to learn from them, from my superior, my subordinate, my peers, and also from all of you tonight, because there are something that you will provide to us, other people will provide to me that I don't have currently. Why I have to do this? Because I would like to be today better compared to yesterday. Joseph Bataona tomorrow should be better compared to Joseph Bataona today because he's learning. I don't compare myself with other people. This is my why. I would like to continue to learn in order that I can share to other people. Meanwhile, there are 13 people, 13 HR directors with have more than 30 years of experience, each of them, commit to write this book, would like to share our experience for our HR community, but also to our leader that would like to do the transformation in the middle of this disruption. Now, if each of us have average of 30 years, meaning that total collectively, we have about 400 years of experience. Papam Budi, the HR director of Bluebird, said one day, we surely cannot buy these 400 years of experience. We can get the insight from this book, all written in there, and learn about how to lead transformation in the middle of the disruption. So that is our collective why we all would like to write this book. I then take a case, and this case is taken from Unilever Indonesia case, where we try to design our future organization to create a large and vibrant pool of future growth leaders. At that point of time, we don't have any problem at all. Yeah, we don't have any problem. But it is about challenging the status quo, anticipating the future growth. That's why we designed this program. And the second thing there, we would like to focus on building future growth leaders that I would like to explain later on. But why we do this? I would like to put into this Unilever context. They say, let us double the business in 5 years. Why this matter a lot, doubling the business in 5 years? Because at the point of time we decide this, the company is at 70 years old, and the business is 1 billion euro. And people say that how can we reach this 1 billion euro in 70 years, and now you invite us to double it only in 5 years. But let us see what's happening. We find this very simple model. Yeah, the X model that we have the initiative of the employee and also the alignment to the business. The system, the arrow in the middle say that the higher the openness in the organization, we can expect the higher initiative of the employee and also the higher of the alignment to the business that we are working in. So if this case, if this is very low, then we can expect the employee still observing, just do their job description. Yeah. But if we can move the openness to the higher level above this X, and we can expect the contribution freely, proactively from the employee, and we can move them to the generative level where they can participate heavily in creating many innovative things in this business. I would like to explain this. So we conduct the survey. The survey indicates that actually the engagement level between the BOD-1 and BOD-2, because a lot of BUMN here, and they use this terminology. So in our case, it's work level 3 and work level 2. Yeah, it is inadequate. So if we see this X in the picture below, they are still below the X. And we anticipate that this will become the barrier to building a generative leadership culture. So the challenge, the first challenge is about uplifting this people engagement, increase the openness, reduce these unnecessary hierarchical barriers, increase positive engagement. At the same time, without waiting to get the result of this engagement, we also need to increase the leadership bandwidth. Because sometimes when we talk about the succession planning, we need, say, 45 people, and we say that we already have in our list. Yeah, but that's not the case. It is just the number. What we want is that individual in that 45 capable of leading growth, challenge, and leading the teams. I will tell you what does it mean. So when we talk about the openness, there are so many interpretations and people think that we are already open in this business. The first possibility, they share, make the presentation about the plan. And they say that we are already open. You ask my employee, they know the strategic plan. That is not the case. The second possibility, they say that we are open because we tell our people, we then take feedback, but the result is no significant impact. Because why? They just go around, make the town hall presentation, and then in the question and answer, they get the feedback from the employee, and they say that we already get the feedback. In the third and fourth here, we can see further that they tell the employee they really seek for the feedback, but still at the higher level, they make the fine tuning. So the ownership not in the lower level, at the employee level. And even in the fourth possibility, intent and plan already share, they contribute to the plan, but at the end, integrated into the final plan is done by the higher level. What we are aiming at is this fifth possibility. At the intent level, we share, we do together, we ask the contribution, and then we make the co-creation of the plan, of the strategic plan. By doing this, we then have the ownership of the total company from the top until below. Why we do this? The purpose is to increase the degree and quality of the engagement, so the ownership will be very high. So by doing this, actually, we build the generative leadership culture through the learning process and also heavily using the coaching. And we already have the coaching program. We already do the coaching, but in this case, we try to reposition the coaching that we have. Why we say that we do the reposition? First of all, in the normal coaching, we normally start from the input in order to get the output. And we aiming very much to the business result. What we are trying to do is the paradigm shift. We start with the output, we then get the very extraordinary challenges from that output and then create the need for the new input, and consequently, we create the need for learning and coaching. As I say earlier about our aiming to double the business, there are a lot of challenges for each division, each level in the organization. So they all need to contribute in order to make this happen. Yeah, there are several other integrated programs that we try to do. The first, Enterprise Award. We then send the program to every level that they can think about whether this is about the product or about the process, but everybody have to think about anything that they can do to improve or come out with a new idea in order to contribute to this double the business. Open space. This is also, I already mentioned about the openness in the middle line. But one thing that I would like to tell you or highlight to or share to you tonight is about the area adoption. All 8 board members are given a piece of geographic area in Indonesia to become the what we call Bapak Angkat or adopted father. Yeah. So at least twice a year, I have to visit this area. And when I visit, I go together with my team, HR, marketing, sales, finance, supply chain. All I ask them to follow me. Yeah. Why? Because I tell them that if you would like to learn about the business, don't just sit behind the desk at head office. Go out, visit customer, visit our front line. And by doing that, we can learn from them, we can listen from them. The nearest board meeting after coming back from the visit, I will report back to the board about the business in that area, the competitors' activity, and also the people issue. And to those people that I visited, I promise that in the next meeting, before you update me anything, I will update you about the thing that I bring or I brought back to the head office last time. For example, there are 10 points that we agree together that I will follow up in the head office. I will tell them number 1, 2, 3, 4 is already done. I already update you. 5, 6, 7 it still takes some time, and the reason why. And 8, 9, 10 it's rejected because why. So they can expect there is something that they can hear back after the visit itself. The freedom within framework. 5 years, double the business. The speed is the name of the game. So we can expect that many people running, but also fail when they do the project. Doesn't really matter. We say that we create the framework for your freedom to do something in there. And don't afraid to make mistake. But anyone who make the mistake or fail to deliver their project, they can come and sharing their mistake to other people in order to avoid the same mistake again. We create the program, what we call IMF. It is my fault. And the interest of the people is very high. The first time we launched this product, the meeting room is full. We then install the television in the lobby in order the people come to hear with that. So people have the courage, dare to come and present about their failure, about why they don't deliver this project, so the other people don't make the same mistake again. And the other thing that we try to share to our people is the program we call Sharing of Joy. So don't wait until 5th year or at the end of the year in order to celebrate that. Yeah, we say that every day, every week, every month, if you have the reason to celebrate, please do that. And we say that our generosity of spirit that we introduce in this company means that we share the credit for our hard work. But later on, we say that the generosity of spirit means I keep the blame and pass the credit. Yeah, I keep the blame as a people, as a boss, as a leader in this team or in this organization. So how we measure the result of the whole project there are 4 elements here. I start from the bottom part. It's about a breakthrough deliver. At the end, it's about business. And the business, I can tell you now that at the end of the 5th year, the company really doubled the business. But the most important thing is not about the journey of these 5 years alone. We say that we need to institutionalize the generative engagement practices. So after 5 years, we still continue to do what is good in this organization that we learned during these 5 years. Improve in people engagement level, and there is a generative audit that can tell us the figure, and increase in leadership bandwidth, where we have the number of individuals in the team, in the level, in the division that demonstrated the ability to lead the growth challenge. My personal practice, I normally issue a thank you note whenever my team do something good. I write it myself, I sign it, and I personalize. Dear Nyimas, dear Sandra, dear Diani. I never write down an email or letter say dear all, never. Yeah, I always personalize, and I give. If 5 people accomplish a certain project, each of them will receive my thank you note, my written hand note, and also I personalize. So that's all my presentation, and more of that you can read in this book, Berubah atau Punah. Thank you very much, Mbak Nyimas.
Okay, thank you so much, Bapak Joseph, for an enlightening presentation. Now give me some reaction. Please give him some applause on the reaction column. Yeah, give the applause. Okay, now we would like to remind you that if you have any questions, please type it in on the chat box, and then please don't forget to mention the speaker who you would like to have a question. And then now let's move to our second presenter. Our second presenter for tonight is Ibu Adriani Sukmoro. She completed her undergraduate education at the Faculty of Psychology, University of Indonesia. And she's also graduated from IPMI International Business School, Master of Management. And her career was started in the financial industry, starting with the career in HR at Citibank. Then she became the Human Resource Director of American Express Bank, General Electric, ABN AMRO Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and Prudential. Currently, Ibu Adriani is an expert staff of the Minister for Human Resource Management at the Ministry of Agrarian Affairs and Special Planning, National Land Agency, and a member of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of PT Raja Wali, Nusantara. Ibu Adriani will explain what is the element of change, its capability and uncertainty. Well, are you ready, Ibu Adriani?
Yes, here I am.
Okay, good. Okay, the screen is yours, Bu.
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Nyimas. Good morning once again, Pak Professor Aman. I would like to greet also Mbak Rifa Zahirsha. I noticed she is here. Also Pak Bambang Gunawan, Mbak Yeti Kris, Mbak Anti, faculty members, and distinguished IPMI alumni and all participants of this webinar. Allow me to share the presentation material. There you go. Do you see that, Mbak Nyimas?
Yes, Bu, I can see that.
Okay. All right. Digital changes bring digital disruption, bring changes in all aspects of human life. Yeah, some consider it as awesome change, but others consider it as intimidating factor. Yeah, intimidating thing. Yeah, it sets a fundamental change. Whereby the digital technology may replace the human role and take over the jobs of employees in corporation. Millennial disruption brings changes in the way of working. Millennials have idealism, creative, practical, and grown up with technology advances. So therefore, organizations need to think how to cater workplace for millennials so that they are comfortable and stay with the company. At the same time, companies also need to cater to think about how to approach millennial as a segment, as target market, since the approach for millennials must be different than older generation. Unexpected thing may create change also, such as coronavirus. It started in 2019 and it is still around us until today. We understand the scale of impact of coronavirus in personal life as well as in macroeconomics. Startup companies emerge. They provide conveniences for people in many ways. We name it: financial sector, airline industry, hospitality industry, transportation, online shopping, social media, etc. And now metaverse and NFT are in the news almost every day, I guess. So if I look back 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I never heard of a metaverse and NFT. So we agree with Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, who said that changes are the only constant. Now, those examples given here are a few among all changes that affected business. The 13 writers of the book, Berubah, atau, Punah, shared their experience in partnering with business leaders in dealing with changes. So please allow me to quote what this Ken Beck stated. Ken Beck is a software engineer who created extreme programming and agile software method. He said, the business changes, the technology changes, the team changes. The problem is not change per se, because change is going to happen. The problem rather is the inability to cope with the change when it comes. Participants in this IPMI webinar may have the experience in dealing with government institution. Why I highlight this, because I work for government institution now, and I write about it in the book. So if I ask you, how is your experience back then when dealing with a government institution? Perhaps some of you may say that it was a convoluted service, slow, indifferent, not professional. And I guess some of you prefer to stay away from having a dealing or get a service from a government institution as much as possible. Well, in today's disruption era, government institution that is not customer focused needs to change. In the past, when a customer is not happy or disappointed with public service, he or she can only share it with friends, with family, people surrounding him. But today, such disappointment can reach everybody. Yeah, it goes viral. So it can reach your boss, it can reach your friends across the region, across the land. It could be a national issue, basically. So we know that a government institution is the sole service provider for various permits. For example, land ownership. It is under BPN, the National Land Agency, where I work for. Public utility, such as water, gas, electricity, etc. It is under public service. So it creates monopoly. Such a situation create domination. There is no competition that trigger public service improvement or enhancement. As a result, in the past, bureaucrats have an absolute authority. They don't have to watch competitors, to watch out for competitors. But as the years go by, changes take place in many aspects, including the disruptions that I mentioned earlier, including global index that actually force or encourage government to reform. Public service has to be simple, easy, within timeline, and transparent. So the service concept is now applicable. Who provide the service and who get the service. The public position is shifted from service applicant to service recipient, or we call it customer. And the bureaucrat's position is shifted from to be served into to serve. The government used different approach. They see the need to have a fundamental change in mindset and culture set. As such, bureaucracy reform, as you see here, is launched. The aim is to establish a governance system and civil servant with integrity, productive, and service-oriented that will gain public trust. Kemenpan, Kementerian Pendayagunaan Aparatur Negara dan Reformasi Birokrasi, evaluate this bureaucracy reform index every year. They monitor and report the result of all government institutions to ensure that there is improvement, increment, enhancement. Now, talking about change is easy to say, but not easy to do. This is reflected actually in the book Berubah, atau Punah. Yeah, many things, many situations are written there based on the experience of the 13 writers. Yeah. There is a question: when does an organization have to change? If the financial number or financial performance or operational performance or production performance or market share indicate a declining pattern, then the need to change is inside. In other case, if the board or executives foresee that there is business opportunity outside the organization to expand the business, for example, through merger and acquisition, acquiring a business, then the business strategy is changed. That may lead to the change of doing things within the organization, and unexpected things or disruption, as I mentioned earlier. Now, change capability for such situations depends on several aspects. One of them, we start with the organization agility. It is the ability of the organization to respond to change. So I would like to quote what Jack Welch. Jack Welch is the former chairman and CEO of General Electric. I spent several years in GE. He said that when the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, then the end is near. So therefore, it is very important for the company to be agile, to respond quickly to change. The agility brings the company to set their business strategy, the new business strategy in dealing with the change. And the new business strategy may bring the requirement or the need to have a new organization structure that will support the new business strategy. So it also may affect or impact the system and procedures. The way of working maybe has to change because of the new business strategy. But don't forget about this one, organization culture. Bapak Professor Aman earlier on said that culture is sort of like a consistent behavior of leaders and employees in the organization. It is indeed true. There is values in the organization that shape the employees' behavior within the organization. So they move together toward the vision and mission of the organization, both through reinforcement as well as through encouragement. Having said that, the core element of this change capability is the people. So for practicality, let's just divide them into three parts: the leadership, the managers, the employees. The leadership are the leaders of the organization. Some say it's the C-suite. Some say it's the leaders at the very high level. These leaders play very important key in the change process, in the transformation, culture transformation. It's written in the book. Pak Yosef, for example, talk a lot about the role of leadership. I myself talk about it, Pak Irfandi as well as the other writers. Managers, that is the leaders in the middle. They are the helpers, helping leaders in executing the transformation, the change plan. So let me quote Pak Awaldi, one of the writers, the IPMI alumni. He himself quoted Thomas Edison, who said that vision without execution is hallucination. So therefore, it is very important to execute plan. And last chunk, the big chunk, is employees. So in the pyramid structure, employees is the biggest portion. So it is very important for employees to support, to embrace the change, understand why the change has to take place, and be part of it. So I quote Tom Ziegler. He is the CEO of Ziegler Incorporation, coaching consultant. He said that change starts with you, but it doesn't start until you do. This is I put this people at the core to emphasize more about the importance of managing people in the transformation process. Rob Silver said that financial resources may be the lifeblood of a company, but human resources are the brains. Indeed, this is very true. If company talk only about financial performance and forget about the core, the human element, then the disintegration may happen. So if we look at this picture, number one is the C-suite executives accept the need to change and identify new strategy. So this is in line with the previous slide. And after this, when they realize, the C-suite realize it and identify new strategy, HR, frontline management, and change agents implement the change. This is the process throughout the entire transformation. And let's assume the technical requirements are met, the employees embrace the change. This is the critical process. This one leads to a happy ending whereby the company culture is transformed. So in the uncertainty, the keep on changing situation, it is very important to have these elements for a sustainable performance. I mentioned about agility. The organization need to be adaptive, focus on customer needs and behavior. Don't be complacent with past glory. There are examples in the book Berubah atau Punah, whereby companies who are strong companies, big companies, they have glorious moments, but they stay in the past glory and forget about the change that take place outside the organization. These companies are diminished now; they are no longer exist. So it is important to build a superior organization culture, the employees' behavior that move together to achieve the new business strategy to support the change in the organization. My last slide, this is my last slide, shows that there is a river here. The river is Choluteca River. It is in Honduras. Honduras is a country in South America. Honduras is used to having storm and hurricane. In 1996, the government decided to build a Choluteca bridge, a bridge with solid structure that will not be affected by the hurricane. The bridge will connect the road at one end to the other end over the Choluteca bridge. Now, it took about 2 years, and finally in 1998, Choluteca Bridge was ready to open for public. Yeah. It became the icon of Choluteca municipality. However, in the same year, in October 1998, Hurricane Mitch hit Honduras. It was so deep, heavy rain took place in 4 consecutive days. Yeah, it's a devastation all over Honduras. Yeah, a Choluteca Bridge here swelled and flooded the entire region. All the bridges in Honduras are destroyed except for Choluteca Bridge. It's a solid structure. Choluteca Bridge stayed intact. Even though it stayed intact, the road at both ends disappeared. Yeah, it swept away. Yeah, the flooding forced Choluteca River to change course. Yeah, the road disappeared and Choluteca River changed course. The river is no longer under the bridge. It is now beside the bridge, as you can see in the picture. So Choluteca Bridge becomes a bridge over nothing. Yes. What happened to Choluteca Bridge is very relevant for us today. The world is changing in many ways we may never imagine. Change can take place anytime, any place, and any form. So the book Berubah atau Punah talk about changes, the need for culture transformation in organization, the element of change, and case studies based on experience of 13 writers, the HR leaders. But Irfandi later will talk about these case studies. He will give examples of some companies who have gone through changes. So thank you. Let me hand it over to Mbak Nimas.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Adriani, for a very inspiring presentation. Give Bu Adriani some applause, please. Just in the reaction columns. Yeah, okay. Now, last but not least, let me introduce you to our third speaker for tonight, Bapak Irfandi Ferizal. Bapak Irfandi Ferizal is a psychologist graduated from Pajajaran University, and he has more than 30 years of experience in human capital in 5 different industries: pharmaceutical, logistics, telecommunications, FMCG, and banking. Bapak Irfandi is also a winner of many awards, winner of the Dave Ulrey Award 2016, HC Lifetime Achievement Awards 2020, and HR Director Best Visionary 2021. Bapak Irfandi Ferizal currently works as the Human Capital Director at PT Bank Maybank Indonesia Tbk. Bapak Irfandi will share his knowledge about the journey and culture transformation and also the study case. Without further ado, let's welcome Bapak Irfandi Ferizal. Bapak Irfandi, how are you, Pak?
I'm fine, thank you, Nimas.
Okay, now
hopefully you can hear me. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, I can hear you very clear. Okay, let's welcome Bapak Irfandi, and the screen is yours, Bapak.
Okay, thank you again. Good morning, everybody, Prof. Aman and all friends here. Okay, let me start with my slide. Yeah, so maybe you will find the title, transformation without S there is not the option. Yeah, that's intentionally I make it this titles there. Okay, you know that the answer should be with S, correct? But again, the first one, yes, transformation is not an option. Yeah, it's a must. And the second one, you can see that if transformation, okay, if something wrong there, the impact will be also not efficient or not effective, correct? That I just want to start the discussion. Okay, it is my honor to be part of this 13th author of this book. Maybe I want to share one of the fact, the real story behind the scene. This book is been written only in 3 weeks. Maybe you don't believe it. Yes, maybe Bunda Giani and Pak Yosef Batona will explain it all. This book is totally written only in 3 weeks by 13 authors. Why can be done in 3 weeks? Yeah, I think it's more longer for us just talking about coordination with the publisher, yeah, instead of creating the book to be published finally and then also to be in the bookstore. Okay, because again, we all of us, 13 is a director here. and then or guru or former HR director, yeah, already engaged quite some time in the HR director forum, RDF, we call this our community. It actually for all of us actually is already have the alignment each other, okay, and then all of us have the same passion. If you have the same passion, okay, have alignment, more easy for you to do something, but actually you don't believe it. It's something from impossible to be possible, and we did it actually. And then why? Because all of us want to make a legacy. Okay, nothing for commercial, but one of us just want to make a legacy for the all of our community here. Okay, let me start with the one real story. I'm the alumni of Nokia. I work in Nokia on 2008. Yeah, I am the witness of the success of Nokia. I flew to the head office of Nokia. Okay, but I also the witness of the closing of Nokia. And I believe all of us here have experience using Nokia, and you don't believe it how big Nokia, how strong Nokia at the time being, correct? That's the most popular handphone or mobile phone in the world, and until now you also still believe Nokia still the strongest mobile phone. Okay, until even fall down into the toilet, still okay, for example. Okay, but what's happened? Sorry, until the CEO Stefan Elop say, very sad, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Because talking about Nokia, to really believe with the existing Symbian, the system. While the like Ibu Diani said, the external already changed, and what internally you don't follow it, and then cannot be adjusted. That's the problem. So meaning was what I learned here, what I want to share with to all of you. That's what I put in the book. Many companies collapse not because they do the wrong thing, but many companies collapse because they do the right thing, but for too long. That's the problem. So meaning that's the reason why we need the transformation. Okay, I put it here. The one of the latest, not the latest one, one of the latest Harvard Business Review edition, talking about the future-proof organization. So to be the future-proof organization, meaning we are really proof with the all change happen outside there, and then we must be the future-proof organization because we must have it the workplace futurization. In reality, the workplace changed totally. Now we can work from anywhere, anyhow, and then in reality, we also are facing the workforce futurization. In reality, now the generation Y, even now Centennial, Generation Z already, and then as well work style futurization, while we must work with the machine, with the robotic and everything, correct? Even now with metaverse. But now the question is how we should transform, because I think by yourself, Budiani already covered a lot about why and what, correct? And then my part talking about how. Okay, the key one for transformation is where should we start? The key one, absolutely, you must clear if you want to do the transformation is again the vision, mission, the grand strategy. Okay, what we call this is define our purpose. You must understand your end of mind. Okay, I put here in the bottom, you can see here, be careful, fashion. Many transformation done because fashion, because other company do it and we must do it, we just follow, not because of you need it. Okay, you must understand what you want to achieve, what you want to be, again, the destiny, okay? What the direction, this must be clear for running the transformation. A few principles here I can share, but actually also put in the book is Michelangelo principle. Maybe you know that Michelangelo is actually one of the very famous statue, in Rome. And then what meaning? Michelangelo principle is focus for whatever you already have it. like the statue, we already have everything there, the nice one. But for transformation, sometimes in reality, many people focus for the weakness. Okay, it's okay we focus for weakness, but in reality, we should focus mostly for our strength. Okay, and then let's fix our weakness, what we want to achieve, but without destroy. Sometimes we forget to maintain our strength in our organization. Okay, the second one, talking about headlight principle. In doing the transformation, the key one is headlight principle. Headlight principle is talking about while we drive the car in the night, you see other car coming from other side come to you, and what will be happen with you while you drive the car? Sometimes you're not focused, and then you try to turn left the wheel, the steer, and then finally the car will be accident, right? So headlight principle meaning what? You must focus. Whatever during the transformation, while you decide, focus. In many cases, transformation fail because you change the leader and change the transformation, change the agenda, and the transformation still not finished yet. That's the problem. That's the reality I said also in the book. Okay. Okay. Before I move to another real experience, okay, this is not the theory, this is real experience, but maybe without again, I want to open the what's it called this, the behind the scene, yeah. Why the color? Maybe Budiani maybe don't explain it, but why the color of the book is purple? This is not real purple. Actually, this is the very peri color. Very peri color is the Gen Z color. This is a color of 2022. Maybe you can check it internet. This color of 2022. Meaning what? Reflect confidence, fearless, curiosity, creativity, and dynamic. That's talking about this book. Transformation is about confidence, fearless, curiosity, creativity, but also a dynamic. So, what I share here, to do the transformation, you cannot achieve directly to be organizational behavior. You must do starting from, any transformation must be started with awareness. Okay, and then we move to acceptance, reinforcement, and suddenly go to behavior. So we must do the milestone. If we do transformation, not suddenly we want to change organization, you must prepare the awareness. Awareness, what we can do? You must do campaign, training, BOD talk, leader series, for example, e-learning, make it mandatory, then smart for other, okay, for example. If you finish this, people aware, and people absolutely must understand why, what is in it for me, why I must change. This must be clear when you do the transformation. The second one, talking about acceptance. Okay, move to, after everybody aware, we communicate. Talking about what? Talking about advanced training, leaders walk the talk. Okay, talking about we make it absolutely follow with company structure, practice system, change the SOP, and so on. Okay, if it's done, you move already in the acceptance stages already, and then must be reinforced. The transformation must be reinforced through what? Absolutely connected with scorecard. If not, the transformation will not be happen. Okay, connected with reward, connected with award. And other thing is, the key one is the storytelling. Whatever the success story, let's make it the storytelling. Okay, and people believe it. If people only you create it, hey, you must do it, you must do it. People always feel this will be success or not. But if they know this the success story, and you make it the good storytelling, that will be believe it. Okay, that's for example happened in my bank. Tell you the real story, how we make it the future ready program. We make it a clear milestone, yeah, since 2018, and then how we move to until now, the phase, yeah, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Just give an example. The clear milestone is critical. Okay, Budiani already mentioned that, yeah, vision without execution is nothing. Okay, the key one as well for transformation, what I want to explain here, is how to make people move. Yeah, many transformation is good in the plan, but finally it's not good in execution. People not move, people not buy in, people not believe it. So how to create it? Executions here, okay? Get the big picture. Absolutely, get people have the big picture. What will be the end? Again, end of mind. And then the second one, we must build based on their own reason. What is it for me? This I give you the real story. This is my story in Mondelez. Yeah, one of the biggest biscuit and biggest chocolate company in the world. Yeah, I also work in fast moving consumer good 7 years ago. While we try to change, we try to transform the employee value proposition to be big and small. For example, this or the value proposition, the big and small. How to make people believe it? Absolutely, try to translate it. What is it for me? Meaning for them. That's the key one. And the third one, challenge the team, especially the cops. If you challenge people using their own language, okay, and then create the spirit of the team, okay, they feel the engagement there, and absolutely they will move it. Okay, they don't want to be the last emperor, yeah, meaning will be left behind. Okay, that's what we need to make it. Okay, sometimes we make it what? We make a competition. We make it like a classement, like the football, correct? To make it people feel, oh, my team is still alive, for example. Then make people challenge. They don't want to be the loser, for example, in this competition. Okay, if you make it the transformation a very big target, like Pak Yosef say, for example, we want to be 5 times of today. You know what the reaction of people? Impossible. It's dream. Yeah, for example. Okay, how to make it people believe? Yeah, just divide the big target to be partial milestone. If I ask Mbak Nyimas, for example, Mbak Nyimas, let's go walking to the Bogor, you say that are crazy. Okay, but I make it the milestone. Pak Nyimas, go to the Bogor. Okay, first day only, say lah from Kalibata, the IPMI campus, or maybe only to the Cibubur lah, yeah, the closer, the Taman Mini lah, for example. It's okay lah, Taman Mini only. Okay, and then the second state, you make it from Taman Mini to Cibubur to something, and then you do believe it. Oh, that's okay, achievable. But you see, this from Kalibata go directly to Bogor, you say that's impossible. Make the target have the milestone, and absolutely celebrate on its success. In its success, celebrate it, whatever the result. Hey, good so far. Make people feel and make a move. And don't forget, create the sense of urgency. I mentioned you, big why. Okay, and the key one, absolutely align our leaders. The leader is the key. Okay, build the winning team. Yeah, the key one for transformation, you must build the team, the winning team. Invite participation, like Pak Yosef always mentioned, how to build the participation for the people to make people engage with the transformation. Absolutely, Pak Yosef aligned as well. Measure, don't forget to measure the transformation. Okay, this is my last slide. Yeah, want to say you absolutely. We use the ACAR, yeah, this is awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. Maybe a lot of textbook, but actually based on my experience in the 3 company, for example, I use this approach as well. So we cannot change directly, like I mentioned you in the first slide, talking about the milestones there, same approach. Change management starting from awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and finally reinforce. Don't forget, we must have the project management. Okay, barriers all elimination, and absolutely you must have agility approach. If not, will be like a waterfalls, just waiting each other. No, we must work together and then using the agile approach. Okay, the last story I want to share, the real story in the book, one of transformation, talking about merger and acquisition. Okay, absolutely I cannot explain detail now because the time limitation, but my life, maybe I don't know, my life, many company, I work in 5 companies, right, in my real career. 3 of them is merger and acquisition. I don't know why I always find it acquisition. TNT combined merger, TNT Express and Logistics. Okay, Nokia in Finland, Siemens is German. You can imagine Finland is really relaxed, no structure. German, very strict, combined to be Nokia Siemens. Okay. And then after that, established and Nokia Siemens by Motorola. You can imagine another merger, another acquisition, sorry. And the last one is Mondelez. Yeah, Mondelez, maybe you know the Kraft Foods. This is another story of merger between Mondelez, one of the biggest Kraft Food at the time being, one of the biggest biscuit, by merger with the biggest chocolate company, is Cadbury. Okay, so that's my life. Yeah, okay. The story in the book give you very quick, yeah, the tips and then the point of the success must be clear and of mind. Okay, I already mentioned before. Yeah, don't forget transformation. You must have clear and of mind. Simple things, but it's meaningful. Yeah, seem like simple thing, but it's meaningful in transformation. Symbol, physical, SOP. While I do merger Nokia and Siemens, it's not easy. But we change the color, we change the office. Those people feel we are different. If not, people will win and lose. Okay, consistency message from the boss. Boss will be role model. Absolutely clear milestone. Again, the story the same like I mentioned before. Okay. Last story I want to mention here. Maybe you question me. That's meaning the transformation only happened in the company. What about in the community? What about in the school? Whatever. Luckily, while you read the book, the story experience is coming from many angles. Yeah, like Budiani sharing from the government organization, for example. Pak Yosef talking about fast-moving consumer good. There's an Islamic banking story. Actually, at the time being, because already covered by many banking, already covered everything. I share about it's our community. Can be done. The transformation is a community organization, yes. And then what unique is a community organization? There is no commando there, because actually everybody is consensus together. But how to make the transformation? Still can do through what? Build accountabilities there, control the grand strategy, and then the key one, understand the root story of the community. Sometimes we just do it the transformation. We don't understand what the root of the story of community organization. Must do transparent and absolutely omni-channel. Yeah, we must do everything in the transformation supported by omni-channel, meaning the all channel possible, including digital. Okay, absolutely the easy one to understand Berubah or Punah atau Punah is you read the book, yeah. You read the book, the key one. Okay, thank you, Pak Nimas. I return the screen to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Irfandi, for a very informative presentation. For the participants, give some applause to Bapak Irfandi. Okay, now we move to the Q&A session. I already see so many questions from the participants and a very long ones. It's okay, because I believe the speakers are able to answer all of your questions. If you haven't typed your question, please type it on the chat box below. And I have a surprise for you, because there are 3 lucky participants who will get the Berubah and Punah book. So keep on watching this. All right, I will probably we can read the question together, ladies and gentlemen, speaker. Yeah, there's a first question from Ibu Joyce Pauline. Yeah, Ibu Joyce Pauline Perdanayanti. Dear Bapak Joseph, interesting charts of the culture intervention in your presentation. Much easier to be understood. Just wondering, what if the initiative of a transformation culture comes from the middle or initiated by the middle managers? How it could impact to the decision to change by the top management? Thank you, Bapak.
Thank you, Joy.
Thanks, Pak.
Change should start from the top. But the question is, which top? Yeah. If we take a company, the top, we may say that it started from the chairman of CEO, the number 1 of the company. But people can also have the initiative. when they come to the CEO number one, they said, wow, we are too busy facing this competitive initiative outside there. So can we wait until another year? In that case, then I go to the next level, next stop, because the organization, for example, consists of marketing, sales, supply chain, finance, human resource, and they have their top as well. So if we talk about the starting from top, we can start from any of these top, and they are at the middle level, because we would like to bring the change specifically to this unit, to this division, to my organization, before I replicate to the whole organization in order to follow. So starting from middle is possible. Yeah, that's my answer to this question.
Okay, Pak Joseph, there is another question from Ibu Joyce. How it could impact to the decision to change by the top management, Pak?
As I mentioned earlier, if I start from middle, meaning that I would like to create the case, I create the example. And because I already have the example, easy for me to share this to the other people, the other division. I can go straight to the top, but I can also invite the other division to see what we are doing in this division.
Okay. Okay. Is there there's another question from Bapak Reza Arifin.
Reza.
Yes,
About
Bapak
the
Reza
incentive
Arifin.
plan. Yeah.
As about the incentive plan, how important is incentive plan or compensation to the team if we want to change the culture of a company? Is there other ways to change the culture if management expect more demands without changing the compensation plan? Thank you, from Reza Arifin.
Okay, thank you, Reza. Together with this project, that we expect the innovation, creative thinking in this project, we also expect the creative way of designing the incentive. So one of the example that I can give you, maybe some of you already go to the Epcot Center, Florida. Yeah, there is a visionary thing, the creative thing in that complex. And because I'm the owner of the project, I come to the chairman and say that this is a great idea that the winner will go to Epcot Center in Florida. But how can I tell them I never been to Florida? So if you can allow me to visit Florida first, then I can craft the program. Yeah, and he allowed me to go there. And what happened? Every project that they deliver and can generate a certain number of money, whether it is top line or bottom line, one of the things that we give to them, apart from financial value that we give to them, is their name card, not the ID card, we change into silver. Yeah. So everybody know, and the following day after they receive that, when we log into the computer, the whole company, there is a message come out, congratulations to this team and what are the projects that they have made and the result, the impact to the business. Yeah. If they win this 3 times, yeah, with this silver card, and they entitled to get the gold card, that they can have that until they retire, and they are entitled to visit Epcot Center, as I mentioned. And this is very creative, and people looking forward to have that kind of incentive. They apart from the bonus, that part of bonus is a part of the global program, and the other program also part of the whole Unilever in the world. But in Indonesia, we create our own program in relations to the incentive. And also non-financial thing, people that get this card, we make use of the visitor, the VIP visitor from regional office or from center. When they come, we ask them to give this ID card to the winner. So this is a very privilege for them. Yeah, Pak Reza.
Okay, there are so many questions from Pak Joseph, but let me search for Ibu Adriani first. I believe this is for Ibu Adriani. Later on we can go to other question, but this is from Pak Emil Arifin. Pak Emil asks, how do you bring the management to change when resistance to change outweigh the purpose?
Thank you, Mbak Nimas, and thank you, Pak Emil Arifin. This is interesting. So let's not debate what is management. Is it the C-suite or it is in the middle? Because I put the category into leadership, managers, and employees. So let's assume managers is be it the C-suite or be it the managers. So in dealing with change, resistance to change, we understand that this management, they are human beings. So when change, when they heard about when they hear perhaps from regional office or perhaps from the leaders of the leaders, the first thing, of course, as a human being is what's in it for me, WWIFM, because once again, they are human beings. Will it affect my job? Will I no longer be in my current positions? Will I be reporting to somebody else that I don't like? Things like that. Do I have to learn new skill, and adapt myself while I'm very comfortable with my current job? I'm happy. So in dealing with situations, there will be three situations. When dealing with change, there will be three situations. First, those managers who support the change. This one is an ideal one, ideal group. Second group, those with 50-50 chance. Perhaps they will support if the change will give benefit for him or her, and 50-50 chance of not supporting it if somehow the change brings disappointment to him or her. And the third, the last group, those who do not support the change. So let's say this question is about these people in the group 3, group C. They do not support the change. They have been given explanation, understanding why the change is required, why we have to change, why the organization has to change, what is the scale of impact, what is the benefit. All of the communication has taken place, and let's say the approach has taken place. Now, when it comes to that situation where there is a timeline, definitely organization needs a timeline. It cannot be, on and on and on and on to persuade people. Management needs to spend time with people who support the change. Take some time to provide understanding to those who look like did not support the change. But at the end of the day, when it is still, no support from the third group, then in Bahasa, we call it dibina or dibinasakan. So it means that, well, it's a choice. When change takes place, it's a choice. It's a corporate life. You like it, you stay. You don't like it, then maybe it's time to think about other opportunity, because you don't allow yourself to be part of the change and together with the organization face a new business strategy, new direction. So that's handling question from Pak Emil Arifin. Hand it over to Mbak Nimas.
Okay, thank you, Ibu. Now there's a question again for Ibu Adriani from Bapak Agus Lukman. He asks, on managing change in government institutions in Indonesia, A, what are the 3 main differences with private or commercial organizations and why? B, please share examples of how to handle failures in managing change at public organization. Thank you, Ibu. Much appreciated.
Yeah, wow, very interesting. Pak Agus Lukman, thank you for the question. First one, the 3 main differences between private sector and government organization. What comes into my mind first is, of course, about bureaucracy. I present the bureaucracy reform. It's been going on for years. It's been going for years. Improvement is there, of course. But when change takes place, it can be fast, it can be so-so, medium, and it can be slow. So depends on the situation, but what I see is bureaucracy is still there. It's improving, it's getting better, but still private sector is agile, agile, easier to move, easier to respond to changes. While for government bodies, it takes some time. Bureaucracy is still there. Second, because three main differences. Second is on decision-making process and execution. So it is paternalistic, while in corporation, in private sector, of course, decision-making comes from the top, but it goes down, the execution is very quick. Once decision has been made, then the execution is very clear with the timeline, when to do it, how to do it, and what the outcome expected. Now, in government institution, sometimes the decision-making process itself is taking time, a little bit slow, and the execution itself, sometimes it breaks in the middle. It doesn't really goes from top to bottom. And third thing, the last one is about performance-driven culture. I mean, for corporation, private sectors, you know, performance-driven culture is like given. It's like 20 years ago. But in government organization, it's still in the process of encouragement to make sure that the performance system works well and in accordance with the guideline and wishes and the objective. So that's the first question. And the second question is how to handle failures in managing change at public organization. So let me just take for time constraint, let me just give one example. This is about digital transformation. Digital disruption is everywhere. The impact is everywhere, including government institution. Now, to have a digital transformation, it means that it requires everybody in the organization at all levels having not only understanding how important it is to digitalize, for example, processes. Yeah, that's the easiest example, digitalized process. But the skill itself, the skill itself. You know, in government organization, they have layers after layers after layers. Yeah, so delegation is a style of leadership. It's part of the pattern. You delegate because you have layers below you. Now, such delegation may lead a situation whereby leaders, you know, at higher level, perhaps they never touch the computer. Yeah, but you must type perhaps one page in 1 minute. In fact, it may require the whole day, because they are not used to it. So failures in digital transformation may happen. So how to manage it? Yeah. So first of all, of course, is communication, and never-ending communication, never tired to encourage, to give understanding. It's repeated. It's like everyday messages. And then close monitoring. Government institution, the scale is huge. It's a national, it's a country. So you can say from A, Aceh, to P, Papua. Yeah, it's close monitoring, and in more to ensuring that they understand it and implement it, but not through a sharp process. We understand if here and there there is loophole, but we just wanted to be there, and then slowly they implement it. Yeah, as long as they implement it, even though it's slow, then we say, okay, that is good. Let's move to the next level. And last is in digital transformation is the maximizing the millennials. Yeah, I see that millennials in government institution are actually very good talent. Yeah, very good talent. They're just like millennials in private sector. Yeah? They are creative. They have ideas, and they are grown up with technology advances. Yeah? So I think that in this digital transformation, government needs to maximize the usage of this millennial talent, allow them actually to lead, to take part in the project, yeah, even to lead some parts, because their things, their thoughts are very valuable to make it happen. So that's the answer, Mbak Nyimas. I hope it's not too long, too
It's
lengthy.
okay, Bu. It's okay, Bu, because there are so many questions and the questions are long questions. And now I will move to questions for Pak Irfandi. There's a question from my classmate in IPMI MBA class. It's from Pariko Rangkuti. Pariko asks, Pak Irfandi, why most of the transformation story is more related to people while actually it is more related to the business itself? And based on Nokia case, they did something wrong when refused Google's partnership offer and they more believe on their legacy with Symbian mobile operating system. What is your lesson learned from Nokia case?
Yeah, thank you, Pak Rico, with the question. If talking about the Nokia case, I think one of the audience as well is one of my friends, yeah, in Nokia, yeah, Pak Taufik, yeah, Taufik Inayat. Maybe also can share the story, yeah. I think it's better because it's more longer in Nokia than me. But why people? Should be the people is like this, what's it called it, yeah, the scapegoat gitu, meaning, yeah. And in reality, yeah, because people create the business, correct? And people make the transformation, people make the plan. So yeah, not meaning we want to blame people, but in reality, we must share the transformation can be done or without done because of people. That's just my answer. Yeah, and that's so no harm to say, yeah, people behind the business, correct? Okay. But talking about you mentioned about Nokia story, correct? That's the interesting one as well. If I want to quote the one of the statement from the former CEO of Microsoft, I forgot the name. What they say that success is a serious business vulnerability. I repeat again. What he said that the success is a serious business vulnerability, meaning what? If you're already in the success, maybe I answered the other question here, yeah. Talking about if you are already okay, achieve everything, do we need to change? Okay, that's maybe my view based on the Nokia lesson learned. Yeah, talking about comfort zone, correct? While you're in comfort, sometimes you will not be relevant anymore. That's the danger one, because you're not be relevant anymore. And sometimes there's a problem of talking about the story of the boiled frog, right? The symptom of boiled frog. The frog actually, while in the boiled water, feel like everything like in the spa, correct? It's hot, warm, okay? And finally they forget. Will be warm, and more hot, and then suddenly already too late to change, and suddenly already being in the like what's good, suike, correct? Suike, to be suike. That's so. If you are success, if the good reminder from the CEO of Microsoft at the time being is talking about if you're success and sometimes you forget to anticipate the change outside there. So maybe to answer as well the question here from other participants say, do we need to change everything? Okay, correct? No, maybe you don't need to change, but you need to prepare always the scenario to be there, not just comfort, forget everything. Yeah, that's happened. Yeah, if a real story I want to mention to you, real story of my bank story. Not talking about the bank, but talking about flood. The real story. My colleagues in KL, while a flood coming, maybe you know that 1 month ago, correct? Very big flood, correct, in KL. Okay, they have very good plan in BCP, very good everything, but even the cold tree not working at the time being. But they just realized, because they said that because we never have flood in the real story in 1 decade. They said, why you in Jakarta, everything okay? Because I said that because we prepare everything, because we have many floods, many time of flood happen, and then we are ready. So what I want to say, sometime while you are in the comfort, everything okay, yeah, that's be danger, will be fragile, and then will be what's it called? Yeah, like syndrome of the boiled frog. I want to mention. That's Mbak Nimas. I don't know. Maybe I answered few questions already, because it's quite related to each other, right?
Yeah, the questions, I just read the question. It's kind of related to each other. But there's one more question for Pak Irfandi. It's a very interesting question, in my opinion, from Bapak Daniel Haryanto. He asks, how to start HR transformation and change management in the family business company combination with baby boomers in C-level, especially
Okay.
when the process of passing the baton from second gen to the third generation.
Yeah. In this book, we have the real story of that. yeah, not mine, not one of us here, but actually one of our colleagues, the author, write this story. Okay, the family business, while the leader as well, this baby boomers, not baby boomers, correct? The millennial, correct? Very young. Okay, yeah, Again, what maybe I want to share, maybe the detail. Ibu Maria, actually the author for this part, sharing the story. Again, while we do transformation and change management can be done in family business, still can be done, but the critical one is create the big why. Always to create the big why. If you don't know the big why, okay, I want to do transformation, okay, but like Pak Yosef answered also as well the first question, correct? Can we start by middle management, not just for the top one? Yeah, absolutely can be done by any level, but absolutely will take time, correct? Will take time if not done by the top management. If the top management, the C-level, actually just passing the baton from the second generation to the third generation, maybe they just still learn, not really aware what the situation happens. So meaning what should be done? Yeah, the next level of management, how to create the burning platform, right? To make the awareness why we need to do it. This burning platform. If we are on the burning platform, everybody will jump, right? That reason, create the big why we need to change this, and then we discuss. Okay, for that reason, no excuse here. All of us here must mastering the influencing skill to the top management. One of the key one, I think. How to influence the top management, or not just top management, the stakeholders, the various stakeholders, okay, to make them aware what the situation, okay. If not happen, for example, how we do come with to the others influencers, go to this C-suite actually, but always with the I put it in the framework, always for the best of the organization. The intention should be the best for organization. Sometimes not political. Sometimes that sometimes people create the political. Okay, forget it there. If you intend to do a transformation, always with the framework of the best for organization. So that's my view. Because I'm not the story teller for this part, but just try to understand from the story of my colleagues there. The good story. The interesting one, this company quite successful do the transformation because of the leader, although the young one is really open, like Pak Yosef's story. One of the successful transformation is openness, right? And then humility, humble, go to the down level, discuss, and then approach people. That's the real good story. But maybe the question from maybe our colleagues here, participant, is what about if the third generation is It's not humble, it's not humility. Yeah, correct. You know what I mean? It's not open, correct? Like feel like the boss. Okay, yeah. Using the influencing skill approach. I want to say, approach the stakeholder, the circle of influence to this person. Okay, and then create the burning platform. Why we must do the transformation. Okay, maybe that's my view, Mbak Nimas.
Okay.
May I add some more, Mbak Nimas?
Yeah, sure, Ibu.
Yeah. On the family-owned business conglomerate, there are 3 writers in the book. Pak Pambudi, he is the HR director of Bluebird Group now. Now we know that Bluebird is a family business, and it's now I think it's the 3rd generation as far as I recall. So if you the person who asked the question, I think you can learn a lot through this book, because it's written very clear there what is the strategy of Bluebird in dealing with changes. We know what happened. we read it in the media, so it's interesting actually to read the what happened and the process they adapted. And second is Pak Saidi Nur Anwar. He works for PT Mahadana Dasha Utama. It is part of Trakindo Group, yeah. So it's a very a huge conglomerate, family-owned conglomerate business, and from the holding to subsidiary companies, the process of dismantling to have their own culture, that is written in the book. So the process is very interesting, because the holding company, the parent company, has a very strong culture, but then the subsidiaries companies, because of the nature of the business, need a specific values culture. And the last one is a fast consumer goods, I should say. It is written by Ibu Maria Theodora Kurniawati. That's I think example given by Pak Irfandi. So it's very interesting, yeah? From fast consumer goods to transportation, and then to investment company under Trakindo. Thank you, Mbak Nimas. Hand it over to you.
All right, thank you for a very informative answer, Bu Adriani. Now we have a question to all speakers. It's a very long question. I hope you can also read it on the chat box. It is from
Do you mind, Mbak Nimas? Let me show you, because I put it here because it's very long. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't shared it. Hold on a second. Share.
Share.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's a very question indeed. All right. So the question is about changing culture. So from Ibu Indah asks about the changing culture requires change at the beliefs level, which is often substantially more difficult than changing business processes or information systems. To complicate matters, there may be an overall company culture and subcultures across groups that can sometimes be in conflict. Sometimes we see only above the surface are often the artifacts and the consequence of culture rather than the values, beliefs, and assumptions that actually drive the culture and the behaviors and outcomes we observe. Can you scroll down, Bu? We can say that having a culture transformation will require to our ability and openness to diagnose, to show the urgency, to lock the commitment, and to put it as the strategic agenda in creating a healthy and thriving culture that people want to work in and on as part of the spirit to give a meaningful work. Again, the leaders as the gatekeepers to the outcomes, the behaviors expected, and the beliefs to share to the employees. Inside a story, true ones. Do you have any tips on this, Ibu Bapak? Maybe we can start.
Can
Pak
I
Joseph?
start, Mbak Nimas?
Sure.
When Pak Irfandi showed us his presentation, he talked about the building awareness until we have the acceptance. We have one very simple communication tool. Yeah. every stage that we have, we create a certain simple form that everybody need to write down. Because many times we say that we have done a lot of presentation, but in reality, people don't get anything from that. So that simple form, for example, in the groundbreaking stage, we give one piece of paper with a simple question. I take the example of the human resource because this form is filled in by the board, led by the chairman, and then go to the division. I lead my team also. The question put in that form is, why is this journey important to you? Yeah, 3 questions. Why do you believe that HR had to transform? And the third one, what has made the journey groundbreaking? Yeah, I share my understanding, and my team also, each of them have to write down the answer of this. And then I will see whether we have the same understanding at this stage, at groundbreaking stage. If there is still the difference or people have the different understanding about this, we have to discuss. And I can also ask my team to explain to their friend, or we come together in order to have the common understanding. And then we bring again to the board and have the question whether anyone in the division have a strongly different understanding about this journey that we need to clarify or make it clear before we continue our journey. So that's very simple methodology for communication, but we find it very useful. Yeah, Mbak Nyimas, thank you.
Okay. Maybe Ibu Adriani or Pak Irfandi first want to answer the question?
I think I will share the same view with Pak Yosef. So I think it's sufficient with Pak Yosef answer. Pak Irfandi, go ahead if you have one.
Yeah, okay. Maybe just to add it, to complement Pak Yosef, I actually already explained it in my slide, but just to emphasize it, talking about change the belief, correct? And then how make people believe or want to change. The key one absolutely is the clarity of the success. If they believe there's a clarity of success, they will move it. People like to change, but don't like to be changed. You know what I mean? People will change by themselves, not want to be changed by others. So, that's the reason we must have it this mindset. So, like Pak Yosef said, you must be clear what your end of mind. Meaning, many transformation we do, okay, people don't get it. What is that? And then they have so many questions. They don't get clear. That's the reason we have transparent, what you want to achieve. And then as well, what's happened? We give you a real story talking about pandemic. Okay, and pandemic, and then after that, we must work from home. And many people question after that in 2020, when while the first pandemic happened, people question, what's happened with my job? What's happened with my company? Is it secure or not my job? People need a clear communication. Okay, and then the first one. The second one, to change the belief, storytelling is critical. Storytelling is critical. You must learn, everybody here from our marketing people, how we create the storytelling and people believe it. Oh, this will work. And get the third one, okay, how to sell the idea. We will move together, okay, and then play your part. We will move together and play your part. Not just say that, hey, you will move it. I'm the last one, okay, and it's not be fair for everybody. Okay, yeah, this is I think the real story or the real experience I want to share. Thank you, Mbak Nyimas.
Okay. We also have a question for all speakers. Why do we need to change if we have been marking high profit for many, many years? To adapt to changes, for sure, profit will go down.
I think I already answered this before. Yeah. I mentioned very clear. Yeah. While you are in the success, like mentioned from former CEO Microsoft, the real fragile level, correct? Are you sure it will be continue? Not we want to change now, but the first question is, are we relevant? Are we relevant? Because in reality, what we learn today, what we have today, suddenly tomorrow will not be relevant anymore. Okay, so meaning what? We don't. Sometimes you don't want to change what we are.
Pak Irfandi.
Freeze.
Please.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Um,
I think while waiting for Pak Irfandi, I think for Pak Hari Reshad, let me just show this quote. Yeah. Let me share this. This is interesting. I didn't share it earlier on. It's part of the change, but just look at this. Yeah. In this one. Yeah. Pak Sofyan Jalil, the minister of ministry that I'm working in now, likes to repeat this. He said that insanity, he quoted Albert Einstein, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different result. Yeah. So back to the, stop share. Okay, back to the question. Yeah, we now enjoy glory. Yeah, business performance is very good. If we change, then it means that the profit will decrease. Yeah. We have explained that change takes place. Yeah. As of today, you are the biggest market player, and I can share with my experience with my last company, Prudential. Yeah. Prudential is the largest insurance company in the country. It used to be the portfolio is like multiplication of 3 other players, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah. But change takes place. Look what happened. Look what happened with the coronavirus. Coronavirus really has a big impact to insurance industry. Now let's take a look at major newspaper. Yeah, major newspaper, print one. Compass, for example. Compass used to have the glory years. Yeah, the past glory. But change takes place. Yeah, technology makes digital media. So their portfolio is decreasing, and they have to be open mind about what to do in dealing with technology. Other example given is AirAsia. We know that airline industry is very much affected by coronavirus, not only AirAsia, but AirAsia decided, I read last week, they decided actually to move to a new business strategy. They call now the organization as Capital One. Yeah, so it doesn't describe how Capital One transformation actually will divert the business direction, including the airline industry. But we believe that the Capital One will have a major impact to the business strategy of AirAsia Group. So that's my answer to Pak Hari Reshad, that today may be the glory, but be aware of changes that take place. Not only competitors, it can also be disruption, any type of disruption. Thank you.
And thank you, Mbak Indah, that also contribute to answer this question. Clarity, connecting the dot, commitment, and communication through storytelling. Thank you very much. And actually the whole of my presentation is at the point where the company is very successful. But we think that for the future, we need to challenge our status quo. Yeah, whether this is the right way to go for next 5 or 10 years. So that's actually the initiative that people do when we try to double the business in 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back, Pak Irfandi. We are glad to have you back here. Yeah, do you want to continue?
Transformation.
Yeah.
It's okay, security covered by all colleagues here.
All right. Now we almost reached near to the end of our session. We only have 5 minutes left. I have a question from Bapak Jo Kurniawan to Pak Joseph. Yeah, in nowadays recruitment of employee, what basic skills to be considered of HR to support culture reformation at our office?
If there is anyone, I may say about the agility. Yeah, because change happen almost every day, and the speed is the name of the game. So only the agile people that can adjust themselves think about what else to prepare even before the change come, in order for them to be relevant. Mungkin the word to be relevant at any point of time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mbak Nimas, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak. Actually, relevant is one of our motto in IPMI, fast, sharp, and relevant.
Wow.
So we hope that we can also keep apa ya, mengikuti perubahan itu, Pak.
Perubahan.
Yeah. Okay. There's actually so many questions. We will record the question to the speakers to be answered later. But I think there will be one more question. One more question before we wrap up the session. There's a question from Bapak Taufik Inayat to Bapak Irfandi. Pak Irfandi, by looking at competitive market today, which allow organization to outsource their HR function so that they can have more efficient or even automate some other HR function, is it becoming a trend in the future and part of HR transformation? Will also the model to outsource to cheaper countries such as China or India become a future model?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is possible, correct? But depend again on the nature of your business. Yeah, HR must be efficient. Okay, must be lean organization. Okay, not just be outsourced, but the model of HR as well must be review, correct? And the hierarchy organization now will be hierarchy. They call it not hierarchy anymore. Hierarchy, that's from the structure from A report to B report to C, this hierarchy, right? But now how you work, this I mentioned work style culturization. Work style culturization is talking about not hierarchy anymore, but hierarchy. Hierarchy meaning is connecting to the dots, connecting everything, right? And then you can work anywhere, anyhow, and then to make it everything agile like by yourself. So not just outsourcing, but topic, absolutely change the business model. HR cannot be longer using the old fashion style as the firefighter brigade, correct? But now I call it HR must be Avenger. Because I call it Avenger. Avenger meaning, you know what? Collaboration, teamwork. There is no one superhero. Should be everybody is a hero in the organization and work together. And HR must be one of the basically the collaborator, catalyst to make it happen. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question actually for all the speakers here from Ibu Mustika. Ibu Mustika asks, when we are buzzing about the transformation of organizational culture, at the same time, a lot of jargon, banners, or socialization materials are carried out by the organization, but not infrequently things like this only become a warm ceremony at the beginning and are then abandoned because top management does not walk the talk, so that workers don't have any respect for the transformation process that is being pursued. How to deal with things like this?
Yeah. There is written in the book as well about the change champion. Yeah, change champion.
Change
agent. They take it further, starting from the day one. Yeah, and the initiative should be deployed in all level, all division, all the unit. Yeah, at the same time. And back to the storytelling, we then encourage people in different divisions to create their story. This is what we have done, and this is the success or the progress that we have made. And they share throughout the organization so other people can learn. Let us learn from that unit why they can make the progress while we are still stuck. Yeah, so that's also one of the approach in order to make it progressing. Yeah. Thank you, Mbak Nimas.
Okay.
And from me, I think to complement by yourself, there is this book. It's not all about success story. Yeah, there is one story that tells about when things go wrong. It is written by Ibu Sandra Sahupala. So the transformation, this is in an outsourcing company. It fails, so it's a failure, and it tells why it fails and what happened. And I think it relates very much to the question because it becomes like a banner, it's only jargon and so on, but no execution. So you can read this part in page 284. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody already everything already answered by my colleagues, but just want to close this statement. Let's transform before somebody transform you.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Thank you very much for the participants and all the speakers who answer with some great answers. But I'm really sorry if maybe your questions cannot make it to the speakers. I will record it later and send it to the speakers. Now we are reaching the end of this webinar. But before we end, I would like to summarize the presentations. So it's about change. Change is the only constant, whether we like it or not. Change is going to happen. It could be due to business opportunities, business expansion, double the business target, digital disruption, millennial disruption, unexpected things such as coronavirus and etc. And with the and people is the core of the change transformation. Leaders play important role in making sure the employees and all stakeholders embrace the change. So everyone, let me and IPMI sending our gratitude for your participation tonight. We do hope that everyone would get new insight from this session. But before we really end this session, I have two important information. The first one is like I type in the chat box. If you'd like to order the book with 20% discount, please send a WhatsApp message to 0818113059, and the book will be sent with the speaker's signature. And last but not least, I will also would like to inform that now IPMI is open for professional BBA class. For information and admission, please contact Ami in the as shown in the presentation. And then yeah, I think the information just now is also available in the chat box. So I think thank you very much for attending this session, and then I will see you again, Bapak and Ibu, and see you at another evening event. Good night and have a well rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Pak.
Congratulations.
Stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo IPMI, bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you, Pak, Ibu
Thank you,
semuanya.
Pak.
Bravo,
Stay
Ibu.
healthy, everyone. Thanks.
Healthy.
Thank you, Nyimas.
Yeah, thank you, Pak.
Makasih Mbak Nyimas.
Thank you, Pak Agus.
Take care and all the speakers. All the best.
All the best.
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you, Mbak Nyimas and all the participants. Yeah,
Thank
Pak
you.
Yosef, Pak Irfandi also. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone who joined this event. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So
Night.
please allow me to leave the page. Good night.
Good night, Bu Adriani. Have a well rest.
Thank you. You too.
That's it. No. Yeah, kita buat sesuai.
Thank you, everyone in the team, for your help. Thank you, Bu Sandra,
Bravo,
Lisa.
Pit, bravo.
Thank you, Malia banget. Thank you banget. Thank you
It's
banget,
surprising we have
Gana.
that such a number of participants. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And it didn't close sampai 100. Maksudnya masih di atas 100 pas terakhir gitu.
See?
Iya.
3 hari sebelumnya kan masih
20. Masih 20 participants. Iya. Aku thank you banget. Ini mungkin bisa di stop kali ya.
Thank you everyone. Thank you the
Thank you
team.
everyone.
Sandra, Mbak Gana,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
appreciate it. Thank you Pak Dian sudah datang dan yang lain-lain. Thank you very much.